your host for today. It is an honor to be here with you as we experience today insightful discussions and transformative ideas in the world of education.
This year's theme is Innovating Education for a Better Future, focusing on the intersection of technology, inclusivity, and innovative teaching methods.
Before we officially commence, we would request you all to hold silence as we have the recitation of the Holy Quran played, which would then be followed by the U.A.E. and Indian national anthems.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Conference 2024 aims to unite top educators, industry leaders, policy makers, and innovators to explore the future of education. It is a prime opportunity to connect with leaders, learn about emerging trends, and network with global professionals. We would now like to invite Dr. A.S. Mohammed Saleem, who is the FEDA Headquarters General Secretary and Chairman of CPSRU, to facilitate and welcome our chief guest.
His Excellency Mr. Yaqoob Al Ali, Executive Chairman, Al Ali Group of Company, Dubai. I would now like to request Her Excellency Laila Rahhal Al Atfani, the Royal House of Queen Sheba, Crown Senator, President and Founder of Business Gate Dubai. I would now like to request Dr. Roger Lashman, Consul General of Georgia, Anti-Corruption, Ethics and Compliance Professional, Chartered Director, Vice Chairman, Africa, W.A.E. I would now like to request Professor Dr. Sheba Sultan, Director, Research and Head of School, Science and Engineering, Curtin University, Dubai. I would now like to request Saad Al-Suwaidi, the first Emirati and Arab female wildlife photographer. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Paul Prabhakar, President of Tamil Entrepreneurs and Professionals Association. I would now like to welcome Dr. Saleem, Founder of World Clean Air Council, Chief Sustainability Officer, Fakhruddin Bing. Next, I would now like to call Mr. Inaguration, Co-Chairman, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Tamil Nadu, Director of Tamil Nadu Skill Development Corporation.
Thank you all and warm welcome to our special guests. We would now like to welcome Dr. Mohammed, President of the FEDA chapter, to lead the welcome address.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning and a warm welcome to FEDA World Education Conference 2024. I am deeply honored to stand before you as the embark on the journey Knowledge, Collaboration and Innovation. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished guests and esteemed dignitaries who have graced in this occasion with this present, His Excellency Mr. Yaqoob Al Ali and His Excellency Laila, Rahhal, Atfani and Professor Chitri Punsaban sir and Dr. Mohammed Saleem sir and Dr. Paul Prabhakar and Dr. Roger Lakshman and Dr. Bhupesh Maharaj, and other dignitaries. It is a great privilege to honor to be standing here. It is my privilege to welcome you all in the FEDA World Education Conference. We are gathered here today with a shared purpose to advance education through innovative research and collaboration support. The Federation of Economic Development Association is proud to host this event, providing a platform for ambitious mind of showcase their academic excellence and cutting-edge technology and research. So today's conference will cover a wide range of topics, including economic management, information technology, legal studies, and other important interdiscipline also. So we'll also witness the launch of this tech leader from of India, aimed to empowering engineers through the various professional activities. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all the speakers, panelists, and participants who come together to make the event success. Your contributions are invaluable in fostering the environment of the learning and growth. As we approach the today agenda, I encourage everyone to engage actively, share ideas, and build lasting connections. Let this conference be catalyst the future collaborations and advancement of the field of education. Thank you, and I wish you all productive, inspiring day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. We would now like to welcome Dr. A.S. Mohammed Saleem, who is the FEDA Headquarters General Secretary and Chairman of EPSRU, to lead the presidential address.
Thank you so much. I hereby welcome to His Highness Yaqoob Al Ali, Executive Chairman of Al Ali, His Excellency Yaqoob Al Ali, Executive Chairman Al Ali Group of Company Dubai. I welcome our beloved His Highness Laila, Rahhal.
There is no royal family here.
Oh, okay.
Excellency, we are normal people like you.
I welcome Professor Dr. Chitra Kunselvan, Director, Research Head and School of Science and Engineering, Curtin University, and Dr. Paul Prabhakar, President, Tamil Entrepreneurs and Professional Association, Sheba, and Dr. Roger Lachman, Consul General of Georgia, Anti-Corruption Ethics and Compliance Professional, and Mr. Bhupesh Nagarajan, Co-Chairman, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce Industries, Tamil Nadu, Director of Tamil Nadu Skill Development Corporation. It gives me an immense pleasure to extend a hearty welcome respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, senior professors and distinguished colleagues and friends and students. It's a great privilege and honor to be standing here. It is a privilege of welcoming you all to be in this World Education Conference. Welcome all. The World Education Conference represents, great pleasure in introducing the last year and this year also. And the last year in the U.A.E. Government Sustainable Development COP28 is also initiated by FEDA COP28 program in this last December 2023. And the last year in U.A.E. Sustainable Development COP28 is also initiated in the national agenda. And FEDA Global Chapter has encountered and conducted conference and workshops in COP28 in last 2023. That's why we are here and conducting the World Education Conference, and it gives an awareness. That is what we are working to it, and we can do it together, I believe. And thank you for all joining us here in this World Education Conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. We would now like to welcome Dr. Paul Prabhakar, who is the President of Tamil Entrepreneurs and Professionals Associates, to speak to our esteemed audience.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. of this World Education Conference organized by FEDA and Ediscope University. As we all know, last year also they had a very wonderful World Education Conference in the same venue. We, TIPA, Tamil Entrepreneurs and Professional Associates, always encouraging FEDA to involve in education field. Education is a tool that can change the world rapidly to next level. So we are in modern and competitive world. Our beloved students to get knowledge of global networking, global education, latest technology, latest trends in education. This type of education conference can help our students to increase their prioritization skills, communication skills, teamwork, analytical and critical thinking, agility and creative skills. The theme of this World Education Conference, Emerging Trends in Teaching and Learning in Education. There are plenty of new technology trends in this world globally. Rectification technology, neuromorphic computing, nanotechnology, synthetic media producer, digital twin engineering, telehealth, 5G network technology. FEDA and Ediscope University committed to bring internship workshops, seminars, conference in U.A.E. They are collaborate with Hamdan Smart University to do such a internship seminars and programs in U.A.E. Yesterday they had an internship workshop in this campus. So our students in U.A.E. has to get the latest technology as well as new concept to compete the world. There are few education sectors that are doing well, such as biotech, Internet of Things, called IoT, augmented reality, AR and virtual reality, VR, DevOps, cloud computing, blockchain, cybersecurity, data science, and machine learning, edge computing, and AI. So our association, Tamil Entrepreneurs and Professional Associates, committed to work with FEDA and Ediscope University to bring latest technology, latest trends, latest concept to U.A.E. students. And we are committed to give internship in our organizations. In Coimbatore University, people already attending internship in my company, Aerotech Services. So our business forum ready to support FEDA and Ediscope University to give internship to your recommended students in coming days. As TIPA committed to do a better business between Tamil Nadu and U.A.E., our Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin's vision of $1 trillion US dollar economy and our central government's vision of $100 billion US dollar trade between U.A.E. and U.A.E. in India, our association is committed to do better contribution to these visions. Along with our business developments, we are committed to work with other associations in U.A.E. to bring the latest technology to our entrepreneurs. Along with FEDA, we are ready to work in coming days. And as I discussed already with Mr. Sitare Professor Dr. Sitare Punsulvan, we are ready to work with Catan University. Already we are closely working with Ahmedabad University on their industrial trainings and internship programs. All the best to all the participants, students, industrial specialists, educationists for this wonderful World Education Conference organized by FEDA and F.E.Da-G University. All the best. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. We would now like to welcome Dr. Inaguration to speak to our esteemed audience.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Felicitation. I came from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. I'm a co-chairman for Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries. And also I am sitting in the board of Tamil Nadu Skill Development Corporation and University Startup Atfani Innovation Center. Just for information, I am a first generation entrepreneur. I came to this position by education only, so I know the importance of education. I'm a civil engineer initially, then I studied my law honors, and I'm standing in front of you just because of education, nothing else. My father and mother gave me education. I utilized it properly, so I'm standing here in front of you in Dubai. So my company have office in 5 countries, and just the right time, yesterday I got my Emirati ID because we started a company in Dubai also. So we hope to grow from here also. So just to say about the FEDA, I appreciate the efforts of FEDA and bringing in people and collaborating like-minded people from India and Dubai and U.A.E. specifically, because I strongly believe in collaboration and supplement each other in development. Meaning, world is now one. After globalization, after internet, after now we are talking about AI, world becomes one. We have to collaborate, share knowledge, share ideas. A lot of things is happening, and I am very grateful to the great country of U.A.E. that I am seeing a lot of potential here, particularly from the people from India. We have a lot of intellectual ideas, growing in India, particularly from student community, a lot of startups. And when I learned the business opportunities in India and environment supporting startups and new innovations in U.A.E., definitely I would like to take a lot of information from U.A.E., bring back to startups in India, so that we collaborate each other, we grow together, as our leadership from U.A.E. and in India, our Prime Minister, they are very good friends, like brothers. So definitely, I would say from FICCI, we should use this opportunity, and I like to attend more events like this, so that I get more information, get to know more people, get to know more information on industries and development. And just to finish, usually I used to say, small aim is a crime, which is quoted by Dr. Abdul Kalam, a former Prime President of India. In Tamil, 2000 years before, Thiruvalluvar says, Ullovadellam Veerullan, Mattrathu Thallinum Thallame Neerthu, which means, simply, small aim is a crime. If you want to aim big, don't aim small. So that our life is very small. God gives us very single life, small life. So aim big, so that we achieve more. And I always say money is a supplementary product of any business, any entrepreneur. If you focus on money, you never get money. You focus on development, you focus on achievement, you focus on grabbing knowledge. Till today, we are learning everything. Till we die, we learn something. Because every day some new technology is brewing up. We are talking about students here in the university. I am also a student here. Everyone, I believe, agree, we are all students till we die. You learn every day new things. Yesterday we talked about AI, today we are talking about AGI. So biotech is brewing, everything is changing. So we are all students, and we will be students for a lifetime. And I'm sure today I will have more knowledge gained from these forums, and I'd like to hear more from the knowledge people, so I will also learn. I wish you all the best, and thank you for the opportunity. And like our Mr. Paul Rahhal said, I would also like to have any interns who want to try from our organization. We have organization vary from development, real estate development, exports, EPC, biotech, AI company have. So any internships is welcome to through FEDA. We are also ready to entertain the office in Singapore, Malaysia, India, Sri Lanka, and Dubai now. So wish you all the best, and thank you for the opportunity. And I'd like to hear more from other people. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta. I would now like to welcome Ms. Swat Aswadi to speak to our audience.
Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. On stage, they asked me to speak. So the only thing that I can share with you is my journey. Let me start by telling you my title. I'm an engineer / architect, Su'ad al-Suwaidi. Let me give you my other title. I'm the world's first Emirati and Arabic female wildlife photographer in the world. Let me tell you the journey of my education. In my younger years, my journey started in the States. So my preschool, my first, second, third was in the States. And then God had given me another journey when I came back. That was by the age of 10. I was old enough to go back to the US and do my undergrad. And I was living the dream of someone else, which is my mom. She had a dream that one of us has to be an engineer, and I was willing to do it, and I went for it. But because it wasn't me, it wasn't what I like, I was struggling. And I needed a friend, a true friend to be with me during this journey. And if you ask about me, I don't give up easily. So because it was a very bumpy road, that's when I randomly decided to get a camera. My camera became my friend. I didn't know what I'm going to capture. I didn't know how I'm going to use that camera. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even know that it needed lenses. But I knew we are stuck together. So I finished my undergrad as an engineer, and I continued on to go for my dream as an architect. As a master of architect of 4 years, it was a struggle. Let me tell you one lesson I learned. Nothing in life is easy. So I continued my master's degree, and I was able to graduate with honors. And my camera was there with me to support me. Thanks God, I graduated with honors, and I came back as an engineer. I held projects all over the U.A.E, not only in U.A.E, even out. And I was able to collect lots of certificates of excellence and awards, to the point that I became overqualified and this door of architecture shut. So yes, I had a dream of being an engineer / architect, and I knew nobody will be able to compete with me. That's why I was able, biggest proof, I was able to collect awards. When the door shut, I was thinking, what else can I do? If you go and search my name, you're going to hear my story of reaching the lowest point in my life. I thought that architecture, yes, it took me to the sky, but I didn't think there is another way or another life that I can pursue. When my mom told me, if you don't believe in yourself deep down inside, and go back to yourself and believe and care yourself, no one on the face of the planet will be able to do that for you. So I shook the dark side off. I went to my friend, my camera, and I decided, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I know I can succeed since I have the passion and love. And only in the year 2019, after completing 17 years in photography, and when I was determined to go to Africa for the first time, and while I was in the middle of the wild, that's when my title came out. And I didn't know there's a title. They knew there's an Emirati lady in the middle of the forest in Africa, what is she doing? And exactly in the same year of 2019 is the year when my name was registered as the world's first Emirati and Arabic female wildlife photographer in the U.A.E. Women Encyclopedia. Yes, my education took me to the sky. But yes, my passion took me beyond. Whatever you do, make sure you're doing it 100%. Whatever you do, first, you believe in yourself. When I started, if it wasn't God, if it wasn't for the story of my life, if it wasn't for my mom who believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself, I wouldn't reach where I am today. Never forget to live. Thank you.
Thank you all for your wonderful addresses and speeches to our audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the privilege of announcing the launch of the FEDA and E.P.S.R.U.B.A.G C. This yearly publication highlights all the successful endeavors that our community has partaken in, including conferences, webinars, and much more. We have
Her, please. Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. I would now like to request Ms. Laila Rahhal Atfani to come speak to our audience. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Namaskar, Kimshu, bonjour, Kagdila Kharashu, with all the language, its meaning and knowledge. Today, welcome to the World Conference Education and welcome to all of you in U.A.E., especially Dubai, the land of knowledge, the land of opportunity, the land which dream come true and talent. When we build the leaders, where we raise to the sky as Emirati, the first challenging the world, number one, that because of the vision of the leader, which they are always concentrated and considering the education as priority. And welcome to India, because we are friendhood, brotherhood with Indian, and we see a lot of community, Tamil, Malayalam, Gujarati, all of you, Indian, you make a really the impact. I say the globalization is education, and education is the future. This conference is aimed to something aimed to empower, educate, and also to build the future generation. My journey is many years, 16 years in women empowerment and youth empowerment. I noticed that we empower a lot, we have to give the power, we have to give the knowledge. Because my journey doesn't stop, we have always to learn something new. Thank you, Dr. Mohammed, thank you everyone and each one, excellencies, and thank you to any person who making change and challenge and impact and boosting the young generation to be really knowing her transformation
in the year of revolution and transformation of technology. Now we merge, during the COVID, we merge education with technology. And lately we see that is building a new generation. Focus in your skill. Learn more what you can, because with building your personality, no matter title you have, you can get professor, doctors, or simple employee. But if you don't have that knowledge and you have education self, you know what you are aiming, you build your dream, you focus to it, you grab it, you never stop learning. Because our parent or our grand-grandparent was not having doctorate, but they build the doctors. They have something called knowledge, skills, the power, they're fighting for you. So fight for yourself and get more education you can. Whatever it costs you only time life for challenging yourself. Other things, we talk about technology. It's beautiful to have that AI, ChatGPT, social media, but don't waste your time on not going to end-use platforms. Use that technology to build your career. You can build your dream after graduate. To be a famous, it's easy. Credit card, many followers. But to be making the impact, it's not easy. Be inspiring others and inspire from others. Put your hand by hand to each other, build the society. You are the dream, you are the future, and you are the leader of tomorrow. Thank you to the university, Edu Scoop, because you are the scoop of tomorrow. Thank you so much.
I would now like to invite Dr. Roger to introduce Dr. Ahmed.
Your Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to be here today as a guest at this conference on emerging trends in teaching and learning in education. This gathering represents a crucial opportunity for us to explore ethical foundations in education. Education is more than the transmission of knowledge. It is the shaping of minds, values, and societies. At its core, education must be rooted in ethical principles that respect the dignity of all learners. As educators and policymakers, we bear a profound responsibility to uphold these values, ensuring that our practices promote inclusivity, fairness, and respect. In an era where technology increasingly influences education, we must be vigilant about the ethical implications of its use. The advent of artificial intelligence, data analytics, and online platform offers tremendous opportunities for personalized training. However, it also raises significant concerns about privacy, data security, and equitable access. We must ask ourselves, are we using these tools to enhance the educational experience for all students, or are we inadvertently creating new forms of exclusion and inequality? Innovation is often celebrated as the driving force behind progress. In education, it promises to transform traditional methods, making learning more engaging and accessible. Yet, as we embrace new technologies and pedagogical approaches, we must do so with integrity. Innovation should not merely be about adopting the latest trends or tools, but also about critically assessing the impact on students, educators, and the broader community. For instance, the increasing use of online platforms for learning during the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted both the potential and the pitfalls of digital education. While these platforms offer flexibility and reach, they also require us to consider issues such as digital literacy, the digital divide, and the need for human interaction in learning processes. Our challenge is to innovate in ways that are ethical, equitable, and sustainable. To foster a culture of ethical innovation, we must prioritize ethical training and awareness amongst educators and administrators. This involves not only understanding the ethical dimensions of technology, but also promoting a reflective practice that questions the status quo that seeks to improve it. Institutions should encourage collaborative efforts that bring together educators, technologists, ethicists, and students to co-create ethical frameworks for innovation. As the founder of the International Institute for Ethical Governance and Accountability, I am deeply aware of the role that governance plays in maintaining ethical standards in education. Effective governance structures are essential to ensure that ethical considerations are embedded in decision-making processes at all levels. This includes developing clear policies on data protection, intellectual property, and the ethical use of technology. To ground our commitment in this, we recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the World Innovation, Technology and Services Alliance, commonly known as V.E.D.A-G C, to create a Center of Excellence in Ethical Governance and Accountability in Innovation and Technology. In closing, let us remember that the ultimate goal of education is to nurture informed, compassionate, and responsible individuals. As we explore emerging trends in teaching and learning, we must do so with steadfast commitment to ethical principles. By aligning innovation with ethics, we can create an educational landscape that not only embraces change, but also does in a way that benefits all members of society. I remain available to discuss this important topic with you during the course of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Roger. Additionally, we are thrilled to announce the launch of F.E.D.A-G C, the Tech Leaders Forum of India, here in the U.A.E. This new initiative offers an exciting opportunity for all engineers. Starting off, we have His Excellency Mr. Yaqoob Al Ali. Thank you, Mr. Yaqoob. Next up, we have Her Excellency Laila Rahhal and Atfani. Thank you, Ms. Laila. Next we have Professor Dr. Qirath. Dr. Paul. Next up, we have Mr. Bhupesh. Next up, we have Ms. Suad Al-Suwaidi. Thank you, Ms. Suwaidi, and congratulations to all of our guests. Okay, and we also have Mr. Sunila. And lastly, Dr. Roger. Okay, once again, thank you everyone and congratulations.
I would now like to request Professor Dr. Sheba to deliver his keynote address.
Also, before that, I would request our chief guest to take a seat amongst the audience. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you all for joining this conference. I come from Curtin University, Dubai campus. Curtin University, Dubai is a branch campus of Curtin University in Australia. We are one of the top 1% universities in the world. Number 2 in the world for minerals, mining engineering, top 50 for chemical engineering, top 50 for petroleum engineering. We are one of the largest university in the Western Australia. Even in Dubai, we are a 5-star university according to Knowledge and Human Development Authority. So today I'm going to talk about the education for sustainability, empowering future leaders. These are the topics I will be talking. The global perspective, what's going on around the world. Some of the important resources that we need to consider as in the education: water, energy, hydrocarbon, materials, sand, cotton, air, soil resources, very important resource. Finally, some solutions, linear economy to circular economy, waste management practices, and industrial symbiosis. Right now, as we speak, the global mean temperature has increased 1.2 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level. When I say 1.2 degrees Celsius, our body temperature, if there is increase of 1.2 degrees Celsius, then we say we got fever. When we have fever, We can't work properly, eat properly, do anything. This is what has happened to the planet. The planet has got fever with 1.2 degrees Celsius. According to United Nations Paris Agreement, the United Nations have agreed to limit this temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Last Monday, that was considered as a climate emergency day. Last Monday around 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, after that particular time, we have less than 5 years left before the global warming hits 1.5 degrees Celsius. Once we reach 1.5 degrees Celsius, the climate change becomes irreversible. Now, some of the recent climate change consequences, what's going on around the world, I want to discuss. Last month, the Climate Change Institute of University of Maine, they released this report. Accordingly, billions of people are living in areas where temperature reach 45 degrees to 50 degrees Celsius. New Delhi, the capital city of India, has endured temperatures of 40 degrees Celsius or higher for 37 consecutive days. This is the report released on 17th June last month. Extreme daily temperatures of 50 degrees Celsius or more between July 2023 and July 2024. At least 10 countries have reported temperatures of more than 50 degrees Celsius in the past year. In last 1 year, 10 countries have reached more than 50 degrees Celsius temperature. Last month in Saudi Arabia, during the Hajj Yatra, hundreds of people died because of the heat waves. At least 530 Egyptians have died due to heat waves. Everything happened in the last month. In India, 110 people confirmed to death because of heat waves between March 1 and June 18. In Mexico, heat waves claimed 155 lives. Because of heat waves, nearly 100 million Americans suffered under the extreme heat because of in the last month. All happened in the recent times. I was in Mumbai last month on June 10. My flight got cancelled because of heavy floods. So that happened in the last month. Extreme. In Tamil Nadu, the state government of Tamil Nadu has announced heat as a national disaster. Heat has become the national state disaster in Tamil Nadu government. In the New Delhi, there are two districts very close to each other. One district around 12 kilometers distance. One district's high heat waves. In the other districts, heavy floods. The extreme weather events are happening even within the close proximity. July 2023, last year July 2023 was the hottest July in the history of the planet. The United Nations chief mentioned that the global boiling has arrived. The term global warming has gone and global boiling has come now. The United Nations chief mentioned that era of global boiling has come. 2023 was the hottest year on record. 2023 last year was the hottest year on record, but this year will be hotter than last year. Last Sunday, 21st July, was the hottest day. Last Sunday was the hottest day according to global records. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, last Sunday only, last week I'm telling. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, these are the 3 hottest days in the history of the planet. So the United Nations chief, he mentioned Earth is becoming hotter and more dangerous for everyone, everywhere. And he issued call to action to all United Nations because of extreme heat. So these days may be hottest days for our life, but for our children, this may be the coldest place because every year the temperature is increasing. Next year temperature will be more than this year. Next year will be more than next year. So it is keep on increasing. Temperature is increasing. In 2023, heat stress resulted in up to 30% income loss for women in homemakers in South Asia. The climate crisis could cause worldwide income to fall by 19% by 2049, according to United Nations Office for Disaster and Risk Reduction. We have been seeing a lot of heat waves, wildfire, bushfire, forest fire, all these are happening very, very frequently these days. The intensity as well as the frequency is increasing these days. Wildfires in wet African forests have doubled in recent decades. Last year, in Canada, in Europe, in Algeria, in many parts of the world, there are heavy floods, heavy heat waves. Europe used to have very cold climate, but these days the temperature is going more than 40 degrees Celsius, 45 degrees Celsius in some parts of the Europe. Droughts are likely to increase by more than 30% between 2001 and 2030. Droughts not only affecting the human beings, it is affecting life on land, life underwater, animals, plants, trees, insects, everything getting suffered. 1.2 degrees Celsius increase in the temperature, we can go and settle in the air conditioning room. What about the animals? What about fishes in the sea? What about the microorganisms in the soil? These two incidents I recently noticed. In India, in Telangana in India, 10 tons of fishes died in the lake. And the other side, in Vietnam, one of the oceans, thousands of fishes died due to heavy heat waves. Ocean water temperature is increasing. Fishes and coral reefs are destroyed because of that. I have some videos, but the video is not playing. So this is the one I was telling you. And because of high temperature, floods are happening. When there is more temperature, more water will become vapor, more cloud formation, therefore more rain. More rain is also because of climate change. We have been seeing many such incidents very close to my heart. Pakistan in 2022, there was a heavy flood. Some of my students got suffered because of that, families got suffered because of that floods. Last year, now December 2022, my native place, I come from one of the southernmost districts in India, Thoothukudi district. Heavy floods. In my lifetime, I have never seen these kind of floods. All these pictures are from my native place. And we have also seen in Dubai, in the U.A.E, last April, heavy floods. In 75 years history, we have never seen this kind of rain. That is in the right side. Left side one happened in the 1 week time. Many countries, Oman, Hong Kong, France, Paris, many places, same week, there were heavy floods. July, 2 days before, one of my students in Philippines, he went for a vacation, and from there he sent this picture. In Manila, heavy floods, Philippines. So this is all happening. All these are happening because of heavy temperature, high temperature. Once floods are there, they will damage the infrastructure, but according to Monash University, recently conducted a new research, and they say after the floods are over, there will be 6 days. Within that, lot of deaths will happen, health issues are happening, water contamination, food contamination, air contamination, all these are happening because of even after the floods. 1.8 billion people are at risk because of flooding, according to United Nations Office for Disaster and Risk Reduction. And because of high temperature, the glaciers are melting. Greenland, Antarctica, ice is melting. The ultimate destination of this ice water is ocean. So ocean level is increasing. We are losing land because of high temperature. Because of climate change, we are losing our land. You can see here, some studies show that by 2100, by the end of the century, at least there will be 0.3 meters sea level rise above 2000 levels. If it is taking low pathway, but if it is taking extreme pathway, it will be 2.5 meters sea level rise above 2000 level. 2.5 meters sea level rise is not a simple thing. Many parts of the world will go underwater. By 2050, Vietnam, Maldives will go underwater. Maldives is the first country going to completely go underwater by 2050 with the current projection. Many parts of the world, Indonesia, the Jakarta, capital city of Indonesia, is going to go underwater. That is the fastest sinking city due to sea level rise. Many islands will go underwater. The entire world map will be completely different if the projection becomes reality. Greenland ice sheet is losing more ice than it gains by snowfall. Melting ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica contributed to 14 millimeters sea level rise between 2003 and 2019. So melting ice means we are melting our future. The sea water is knocking our door. 27% of the world's population lives in the coastal area. In that, according to 2050, some studies, in 2050, 33 million people will be migrating from the coastal area. Already we don't have a population is growing, and we already shortage of land, and this population, when they come to other areas, there will be big shortage. Because of climate change, the tsunamis will be more common. I have a video, I have scientific evidence, I don't want to take more time, but we should understand climate change is directly related to more tsunamis also. And another thing, climate change, the air turbulence, when you are traveling in flights, these days you are seeing more air turbulence. This is also because of climate change. There are the evidences. Paul Williams, he is from University of Readings, he has conducted this study and he says there will be more and more air turbulence while traveling flights because of climate change. Recently we heard in Singapore Airlines because of air turbulence, one person died. This happened because of climate change. I can provide scientific evidences. Let us talk later. I have only half an hour time. I will discuss. If you are interested, we can discuss it more. California, June 2022, drought. Same location in January 2023, heavy snowstorm. So in 6 to 7 months time, there is an extreme heat events, weather events happen in the same location. Number of hotter days are increasing every year. Number of cold days, average number of cold days are reducing every year. It's all because of climate change. These are the areas experiencing record-breaking heat in the past 10 years. IPCC, IPCC is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, United Nations direct body. And they released their latest report on 20th March 2023. Accordingly, they say children born today, when they reach 30 years of age, they will be living 4 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level. Right now we are at 1.2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level. When there is 4 degrees Celsius increase in the temperature, what will happen? Imagine, nothing will be there. We are losing the biodiversity because of climate change. So 3.3 to 3.6 billion people live in hotspots of high vulnerability due to climate change. According to IPCC, we cannot ignore these reports. More than 1,000 scientists participate in preparing these reports. Just like that, we cannot ignore these reports. And according to United Nations High Commissioners for Refugees, they say 55.5 million people forced to flee because of climate change. So anyone can be impacted because of climate change. There's a video is not playing. The world is just had 12 record-breaking months of heat. Every year, every month, every day, the temperature is increasing. Global mean temperature I'm talking. I'm not talking only about the U.A.E temperature or Dubai temperature. This is all global mean temperature. Summertime, wintertime, all nations in average, it is considered. So again, video is not there. So let me skip this one. So these are some of the other indicators. Glaciers are melting, sea level is rising, ocean heat content is increasing, humidity is increasing, number of hot days are increasing, number of cold days are decreasing. There are many indicators. Each and every indicator, there are impacts. If, for example, if the ocean heat content is increasing, fishes and other coral reefs are destroyed. So everything we are losing the biodiversity because of climate change. Every time whenever I go, I present this because it is close to my heart. Again, this is from South India, Vedandangal Birds Sanctuary, largest bird sanctuary in India. More than 30,000 birds used to come to this place during the migratory season. In the last 2 years, I have been noticing when they come, they don't go back, they die because there is no water. So we are losing the biodiversity because of climate change. Animals, plants, trees, insects, everything is important. This planet is not only for human beings, life on land important, life underwater important. If all the insects disappear from the planet, all of us will be dead in the next 3 to 4 years' time. If all the microbes disappear from the planet, all of us will die immediately. They are the foundational life. I was talking to my students. Students, when they get job, when they get family, when they get a family, then they build a home. After a few years, they get children, they want to build one more floor on top of it. If they want to construct one more floor, if they pull out the foundational stone and build it, what will happen? That's what is exactly what's going on. So we are losing the biodiversity. On an average, according to United Nations FAO, United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, on an average, 27,000 species are disappearing from the planet. In the last 30 years, more than 80% of the biomass insects have disappeared from the planet. Again, this is a very fun video, but the video is not playing. Let me skip this one. So, these are all videos. Sorry, I will skip this. So, why it's happening? Why it is happening? Because of the greenhouse gases, because of our human activities. methane, ozone, nitrous oxide. These are the greenhouse gases. They stay in the atmosphere. When we are releasing those gases, they go and stay in the atmosphere for 50 to 200 years. They're creating a layer. When the heat energy, when it comes from sun to earth, the energy intensity is more, the wavelength is short. They can pass through this layer and come to the ground. Some energy, when they come to ground, reflected back to space. When they go back to space, the intensity is low and the wavelength is very short, very high. They cannot pass through this layer. The heat is getting trapped. That is the reason we are getting this global warming, high temperature. Among these greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide is the representative gas because the amount of carbon dioxide emitted to the atmosphere is more when compared to other greenhouse gases. But nitrous oxide is very powerful, very dangerous greenhouse gas. When compared to carbon dioxide, it is 265 times more powerful, more dangerous. So 1 kg of nitrous oxide released to atmosphere, we calculate that as 265 kg of carbon dioxide equivalent. Methane, for example, 25 times. This number will vary, every year it will change based on the cloud chemistry and cloud atmosphere. These numbers will change. And these are the top 10 countries responsible for high emissions, all G20 nations except Iran maybe. So these countries collectively produce 61.6% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. Who is responsible for climate change? Everybody is responsible for climate change. Since everybody uses energy, water, materials, everybody is responsible for climate change. We use different kinds of materials. We use refrigerator, washing machine, mobile phones, laptop, refrigerator. All these materials, where are they coming from? We extract from the mother nature. We do drilling, mining, extracting, processing, manufacturing, assembling, sorting, transporting, using, disposing, recycling, all these stages, energy required, electricity is required, and that electricity comes from the fossil fuels, from hydrocarbon resources. When we burn petrol, diesel, natural gases, carbon dioxide is released. That goes to the atmosphere and stays there in the, for 50 to 200 years. Everybody is responsible because you wake up morning, we use toothbrush, toothpaste to manufacture. We need electricity. We need energy required. That energy comes from the fossil fuel. We take shower, that water comes from the desalination plant. From Dubai, it is coming from the desalination. Desalination is the energy intensive process. Removing salt, adding minerals, pumping water into different locations, all the stages require energy. That energy comes from the fossil fuel. We eat food, that food we are cooking from LPG gas. 1 kg LPG gas if we are consuming, using 3 kg carbon dioxide is released to the atmosphere. We use transport, petrol, diesel. 1 liter of petrol or 1 liter of diesel if we are using, almost 3 kg of carbon dioxide going to the atmosphere. We use electricity. Now also we are connected on electricity. 1 unit of electricity, 1 kilowatt hour of electricity if you are using, that will contribute approximately 1 kg of carbon dioxide. From the entire humanity, from the entire planet, 1.3 million kg of carbon dioxide is going to the atmosphere for every single second. And the planet can absorb another 275 billion tons of carbon dioxide before the global warming hits 1.5 degrees Celsius. We have that much space only available. That is the budget available. But we are sending 1.3 million kg of carbon dioxide every single second. With that calculation, we have 5 years and less than 5 years left before the global warming hits 1.5 degrees Celsius. So everybody is responsible. Rich person, poor person, American, Indian, Emirati, everybody is responsible for climate change. Everybody should contribute for climate change corrections. And climate change is a global problem. It is not the problem of one country, one nation, one community. It is a global problem. Why? Because the atmosphere is common to all the nations. We have boundaries and borders due to political reasons, due to economic reasons for nations. But there is no boundary in the atmosphere. So all the gases, damage conducted in America has consequences for us also. Damage conducted in somewhere in China, there are global consequences because the atmosphere is common to all the nations. Carbon footprint, that is the amount of carbon dioxide emitted by nations by a person. The carbon footprint on an American is 16 tons, means for one person in 1 year, 16 tons per year. The world average is about 4.3 tons. For example, India, it is about 2.5 tons. That means every Indian carbon emission is 200 kg of carbon dioxide for every month. 200 kg carbon dioxide emission average. I'm telling you average. Rich person will be more, poor person will be less. But on an average, It is 200 kg of carbon dioxide released by an Indian for 1 month. That means it is almost 108,000 liters of carbon dioxide that all goes to the atmosphere and stay there for 52 to 200 years, creating layer there in the atmosphere. Population is growing. Currently we have more than 8 billion people. We are all very nice people. We are all very beautiful people. But we are too many people. That's the problem. Population is growing, consumption is growing, production is growing, GDP is growing, but the size of the planet is not growing. Water is not growing, soil is not growing, minerals are not growing. So we are already running out of energy, water, materials, and other critical resources. Currently we are consuming 1.8 planets equivalent amount of resources. 80% overconsumption is going on, which is supposed to go to our future generations. In a way, we are living on a stolen resources that's supposed to go to our future generations. If we continue to consume like this, by the end of 2050, we will require 3 planets. 3 planets equivalent amount of resources. We have only 1 planet. Even if you are thinking for other planets, Mercury, the temperature there is 167 degrees Celsius. If you want to settle there, we will all become vapor immediately. Venus, 464 degrees Celsius average temperature. Earth is the only home where average temperature 50 degrees Celsius, but that has become 70 degrees Celsius because of, on an average we are talking. Mars, minus 65 degrees Celsius. We will become frozen there if we go there. Jupiter, 110 degrees Celsius minus. So you can see, so there is no planet B. The only home for us is the Earth only. Our planet is like no other time to protect our only home. Therefore, there should be a reduction in our consumption pattern. 100 years before, some studies show that 1,000 people, how much resources they consume, today 1 person is consuming. Our grandfather, grandmother, they did not have refrigerator, washing machine, cars, private jets, all these sophisticated equipment. But today we are all attached with all these equipment. When I was a child, till my grade 7, I did not have electricity at home. I did not have anything. Today I have laptop, mobile phone, that car, this car, the India car, oh, so many things are there. So I'm telling you an example. This is happening with our consumption pattern is increasing and population is increasing. That's a big problem. So no disaster is natural disaster. The word United Nations Office for Disaster and Risk Reduction, they say, don't say natural disaster. Disaster is disaster only. It is all because of human activities. Nothing comes natural. Because of human activities, all these disasters are coming. Now let's talk about some of the important resources. Water. Water is the life-making material. When you think of life, you think of water. Imagine if water is not there for 2 days. Imagine if the desalination plant in the Dubai Electricity Water Authority, if it is not working for 1 week, the entire country will fall down. The entire economy will go. If water is not there, there is no life. I have conducted my research on water because my PhD is manufacturing engineering, abrasive water jet manufacturing technology, abrasive particles mixed with water, and then with that we cut materials and do a lot of research. So during that time I also explored more about water. Today, without changing the chemical structure, we can change the molecular structure of the water. The H2O, the molecular attraction of the molecules of H2O can be changed. The water imploding machine, phenomenal amount of research has gone into water and water potential. The water imploding machines, they have patented in UK. These imploding machines, they will implode water. They will vibrate water in certain way and they supply for trees and plants. With only 10% of the water, we can grow the plants and trees in the same way as we are growing. But the imploded water we cannot drink. Water in the water type, tap. If it comes with a high pressure, imagine water comes from the water tap with high pressure and if you consume, you feel the stomach upset. That means the molecular structure is changed. That particular water, if you send it to the plants and trees, the trees and plants can be grown with only 10% of the water in the same way as we are growing. So that kind of technology is going on. But water scarcity, everywhere it's happening. By 2050, World Meteorological Organization, they say 5 billion people will not have access to clean water. That is more than 50% of the population. The population is projected to be 9.8 and 9.9 billion people in 2050. 5 billion people will not have access to clean water. Water is required for everything, even to drink a cup of coffee, 125 milliliters of coffee, we need 132 liters of water. Right from coffee plants, coffee leaf extraction, packaging, processing, altogether is 132 liters of water required just to drink 125 milliliters of coffee. Not only for coffee, chocolate, beef, meat, or fruits, vegetables, whatever you think, water is required. I recently studied between meat and fruit. For one person to survive for 1 year, with only meat, 15,000 liters is required, approximate calculation. But if you go into fruit diet or vegetable diet, only 300 liters of water required for one person to live in 1 year. Almost 500 times more water consumption is required. Once again, all the rivers will flow, and it is ecologically good also. So too much water, too little water, all because of climate change only. Women could spend 30% more time fetching water by 2050. I remember my grandmother, during those days in village, my native place, they take water in a sand pot, and then they keep the store in the water previous day. Next day only they drink. Why? Because water should get settled. Water should be calm. We are 70% of our human body is water. If the water that we are taking is 70% sweet, we will become sweet for 70% at least. So they store water in the previous day. They put some turmeric, they put some puja and all. Next day they drink. But today what we are doing, we are drinking water in a plastic bottle. And that plastic, I will talk about it plastic later. So it is microplastics. We have invaded the microplastics into our human bodies. So in 2000, global water use stood 3,950 kilometer cube. That much volume of water was required in 2000. But in 2030, we will require 6,900 kilometer cube volume of water. So water stewardship is required. Education is required for that. How many of you knew last Sunday was the hottest Sunday? Nobody knows. So the awareness is very much important. People don't know what's going on around the world. Now, the another important resource is energy. When I say energy, we think about petrol, diesel, natural gases. They produce electricity. So, but when the GDP of a country is increased, their CO2 emission is also increased. They are directly proportional. American GDP is more, that means more infrastructure, more industries, more manufacturing, more processing, more mining, more everything more. Everything requires electricity, and that electricity is coming from carbon dioxide. Therefore, GDP and CO2 emissions, they are going directly proportional. GDP is calculated without considering the finite amount of resources. These are the so-called hydrocarbon resources. Hydrogen, carbon, both are there in these resources. Petrol, diesel, kerosene, natural gas, whatever. These are all hydrocarbon resources. And when you burn these hydrocarbon resources, energy is produced. The reaction is highly exothermic. In engineering, we call it exothermic. Exothermic means high energy is produced. At the same time, CO2 is also produced. We are talking about this CO2. That goes to the atmosphere and stays there for 50 to 200 years. The world is looking for CO2 emission. World industries are looking for clean energy. Google has eliminated its carbon footprint. Microsoft to become carbon negative by 2030. Apple to become carbon neutral by 2030. Facebook to become carbon neutral by every industries have their own strategy. In countries, UK is going to phase out petrol, diesel by 2040. U.A.E, United Arab Emirates, has a climate change clean energy strategy for 2050. Universities have started offering clean energy related courses. For example, I tell you, the best university to study petroleum engineering in Australia is our university, Curtin University. We get a lot of students for petroleum engineering. But for our commitment to the environment, we have stopped offering that program. We are top 50 in the world for petroleum engineering, but the petroleum engineering program is stopped offering. And we have converted that program as energy transition engineering, renewable energy program. And therefore, and our Dubai campus is also plastic. We don't use plastic bottles in our campus. Some of our students are there, they know better. We are developing our students. We have an active sustainable club on campus. Our students are there, they are the sustainable club members. So we're very active. They are also top 100 in the world for sustainability. Okay, so renewable energy is clean. We have very, very great opportunities in producing renewable energy. The world's current power consumption is 18.3 terawatt only. Entire world consumption is only 18.3 terawatt. 1 terawatt is only 10 power 12 watts. But the solar energy available, whether we like it or not, we have solar energy. And is available 166 petawatt. 1 petawatt is 110 power 15 watts. And out of that, 30% reflected back to space and 90% is absorbed by clouds. That means the remaining 85 petawatt is very much available for use. And that 85 petawatt is more than 4,500 times than our current world consumption. Therefore, we have a huge opportunity. If you visit our university campus, you will know we have a lot of research going on in renewable energy, solar panels, cleaning of solar panels, cooling of solar panels, increasing the efficiency of solar panels. Solar panel, the lifetime is only 25 years. Everybody is going for solar panels. After 25 years, there will be a lot of wastages in the landfill. We are working on that waste management. Even if it is a solar energy, we should be conscious in using those energy, because for solar energy production also, we need silicon panel, we need aluminum structure, we need steel frame, we need cables, we need batteries. All these materials, where are they coming from? We have to mining, dry, processing, manufacturing, all these are required. We are already running out of lithium-ion batteries. We are already running out of silicon panels. We need to come up with alternate ideas. So that is all very much important. So this is what education is important for sustainable materials. We use different kinds of materials. Imagine any material in this room, anything, your shirt, pen, table, laptop, mobile phone, refrigerator, washing machine, chairs, whatever it is, all we have extracted from the mother nature. All we have extracted from the mother nature. You think about gold, aluminum, copper, silver, whatever it is, everything coming from mother nature. 30 years before, when we go down 1 kilometer or 1.5 kilometer, we used to get a very good quality minerals. Today, we need to go 5 kilometers or 6 kilometers down. And also, we don't get a good quality minerals. Going down is not a simple thing. Lot of energy required, electricity is required, materials are required. And it is a very energy intensive process. And completely we are running out of, we are using non-renewable energy resources, because the mining activities, mining cannot be done in the center of the city. Mining can be done only in the remote locations. When it is in the remote locations, there will not be enough power transmission system. We only depend on diesel generator. Diesel is a hydrocarbon resource. When you burn diesel, carbon dioxide is going there. So mining industry is responsible for more CO2 emission. The global consumption of materials is expected to reach 160 billion tons, because population is increasing, and 10 billion tons of engineering materials are needed by 2060. When you talk about plastics, we need to talk about, when you talk about material, we need to talk about plastics. Plastics is one of the amazing materials that we have created. We produce 400 million tons of plastics every year. Out of that, only 10% is recycled. That means remaining 360 million tons. 360 million tons goes to the landfill. Majority of them going to the ocean. What happens when they go to ocean? These plastic bottles, they become plastic particles. These plastic particles become microplastics. When we say plastic, we talk about plastic bottle, plastic cover, plastic bags. But the so-called microplastics have invaded into our soil, into our water. Through soil and water, they have invaded into our food. Through food, they have invaded into our human bodies. We are carrying those microplastics. We are eating those microplastics indirectly. In the 21st century kitchen, there is a small box at the right side, you can see, microplastic box. These microplastics have indirectly invaded into all other food items. We are eating 17 dice of microplastics every month. The average person consumes between 78,000 and 211,000 microplastic particles, which we cannot see. Every year they are eating. So that's 60 grams of microplastics every year. Every human body has 60 grams of microplastics every year. Maybe a person who is living in a village, who is in sync with nature, will not eat the microplastics. But people in Dubai, definitely, indirectly, we are consuming those microplastics. So by 2050, plastic production is projected to be 590 million tons. Right now it is 400 million tons. Only 10% of the plastic waste. I have some videos, but I can share this later if you are interested. Okay, I skip these videos. This is the graph showing different plastics take different times for decompose. So rubber bands. We use 13 million kgs of rubber bands every year. Most of these are not recycled. Because of that, 1.53 tons of carbon dioxide produced. That means 19,900 tons of carbon dioxide annually. So instead of rubber bands, we can go for recyclable paper tears that can replace rubber bands effectively. Sand, cotton. Sand is the most extracted materials after water. This is the most consumed resource after water. Water is the most consumed resource, then sand. Because the sand requirement, sand price is increasing every year. Every year, because of the population, we need to go have construction industries, buildings. So sand requirement is increasing, sand price is increasing. Cotton is used for textile industries. Air is not considered as a resource because it is abundantly available. But the air pollution is the problem. Air is used in different applications, but air pollution because of the greenhouse gas emissions, it is the problem. This picture is taken in the New Delhi, capital city of India, morning 8:30 a.m., published last year. Morning 8:30 a.m., New Delhi, capital city looks like this. Because of the industry pollutions, people cannot breathe. If you cannot breathe properly, why these industries are required? So we need to go with the renewable energy resources. Our air inside, people now, we live in apartments, the air inside our homes is 5 times more polluted than air outside. Outside air is not coming, inside air is not going outside. Even if some damage is there, we fix it with the chemicals. So that will produce a lot of problems because of air pollution. Every year, some 9 million deaths due to pollution happening every year. Indirectly it is happening. And a lot of health issues. By 2050, an extra 14.5 million people will die due to climate change, particularly with air, waste management, air pollution. This will also trigger $1.1 trillion extra cost to the healthcare system. Today we are only spending $840 billion dollars annually on climate change mitigation, but we should be spending $5.5 trillion by 2050. Researchers say every $1 spent now for climate change mitigation can save $3 in healthcare costs. That means whatever we are investing, whatever we are doing right now is very much important for the future. Soil is one of the very most important resources. We often ignore this soil. When we consider climate change, we need to consider soil. Soil is becoming sand. If you take away the organic content, nutrient content in the soil, we call that as sand. According to United Nations, to call soil as soil, at least 2% organic content is required. But for example, in India, more than 60% of India's soil, the organic content is 0.5% or less than that. We are on the verge of desertification. Climate change is accelerating, sea level is rising, we are losing land. We are converting agricultural land into residential buildings, universities, colleges, and the land available for food production is reducing. Because of that, some studies show that in 2045, we'll be producing 40% less food. When there is a shortage of food on the ground, there could be a number of civil wars around the planet. Imagine if food is not taken, if nourishment is not taken care, then people will go to any extreme level. Whatever civilization we have built for 1,000 years, 500 years, everything will break down when there is a shortage of food in the ground. Already, World Meteorological Organization clearly saying 5 billion people will not have access to clean water by 2050, and other studies show that 40% less food we are going to produce. What are we going to do? Is it not an important problem? This is the most important problem. Children are there, students are there. If you don't understand this as a problem, don't eat food for 2 days. Don't drink water for 2 days. Next day you will understand. This is the important problem. And when there is when the soil is not rich, we apply chemical fertilizers, pesticides. We are applying mass amount of fertilizers. Whether it is required or not required, we simply apply. And here only we can apply our AI machines. Artificial intelligence machines can be used. They should be working by themselves and apply fertilizers, pesticides where it is required, how much required, what kind of fertilizer is required. Otherwise, in a doctored manner. When we go, like human beings, we go to hospital, when a particular vitamin is not there, we only take that particular vitamin. We don't take all the available medicines. But what is going on for the soil right now? We apply massive amount of chemicals and fertilizers. Even if it is not required, we apply. and we are producing inorganic food. There, because of that, there are a lot of health issues. And if you apply more fertilizers, more nitrous oxide will be released to the atmosphere, which is more dangerous, which is 265 times more powerful. And we have to talk about nitrous oxide emissions. Okay? So, soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. In Tamil language, we call Thai man. Thai man means mother soil. Because we cannot live with an inert mother. We cannot live with a dead mother. Soil we should not consider as a dead mother, inert system. If you take a handful of soil, if the soil is rich, 8 billion microbes are there in the soil. It's supposed to be there, but because of climate change, everything is disappearing. It becomes sand. So, 30 to 40 inches of topsoil on an average around the planet is the life for all the available systems. So, we need to treat this soil. We need to focus our attention to soil. Because if we fix the soil, everything else could be fixed. Last year in the COP28 conference of the parties happened in Dubai, I also participated along with our university, Western Australian campus in Curtin University. We participated in the blue zone of the COP28. One of the events by UNCCD, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. The event name is Soil the Superstar. In the climate change conference, soil became the superstar. So at least the narrative is changing, but the action has to happen. This is the first time in the conference of the parties, soil became the superstar. I was following a Glasgow conference in 2060, COP26, COP27 Egypt. The word soil was not at all used before. First time, soil became superstar, and that means we are at least focusing to our soil. So, whatever possible, wherever possible, even if you are living in an apartment, a pot full of soil, grow plants, grow some flowers, that all will help for ecological activity. This is not going to make a big difference in the world, but it will show that we are committed. Our commitment itself is a big difference. And soil degradation is going on, soil extinction is going on. We heard of dinosaurs going extinct, but soil extinction is going on. If the soil is fixed, soil is the very significant carbon sink. When soil is rich, carbon dioxide instead of going upward, it will go downward. Because for food production, for plants and trees to grow, carbon dioxide is very much required for photosynthesis, and oxygen will be released. Therefore, your climate change will be reversed. Soil is the very significant carbon sink. Soil is the largest water soak on the planet. Water is not an issue, soil is the issue. If the soil is fixed, water will be automatically fixed. Soil is rich, plants, trees will grow, air pollution is fixed. If the soil is rich, plants, trees will grow, food production will happen locally, no need to import, no need to export food. We can avoid energy. Energy is fixed. If the soil is rich, food production will happen locally. We can avoid plastic packaging. We can avoid chemical preservatives. We can avoid storing food items in the refrigerator, and we get a healthy organic food. So health issues are fixed. I recently studied an article. In 1920, in California, because the research was conducted in California, if we ate one orange in California in 1920, how much nutrient content you get out of it? Today we need to eat 8 oranges. Because the orange, what we are eating, not only orange, example I am giving, whatever we are eating, it is not organic, it is not healthy. We don't get enough nutrient content out of it. So that is what we are talking about. So soil, if it is fixed, we can fix everything else. This is the legacy we have received from our previous generation, and we have to pass it on as living soil to our future generations. So focus on soil. We are focused on soil. Our students are focusing on soil. We have started teaching on soil. This is very much important. If this is fixed, everything else can be fixed. Okay, skip this. 42 million trees. I'm going to close now. Sorry, I'm taking a little more time. I'll close this. Let me skip forest, ocean, let me skip. Okay. Linear economic recycling. Whatever products we use, we need to use it for a long time. The end of life product should be converted as a new product. Rethinking, reducing material, reusing materials, refurbishment, repairing, all this will help for circular economy. The world has enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's need. And let us not buy unnecessary items. It is not that we don't have money. We cannot afford to buy a new mobile phone, for example. I used to give that as an example. You use it for 3 months, 4 months, and throw it away. Next model comes and you go for new mobile phone. What happens? It goes to the landfill, occupies land. And for a new mobile phone, again this processing, manufacturing, producing, assembling, all these activities are there, energy required. So both sink and source are getting affected. Therefore, instead of using unnecessary materials, use only what is required is very much important. Instead of buying a new product, let us save money. If you don't buy a new product, you are avoiding the use of new virgin materials. If you are avoiding the use of new virgin materials, you are avoiding the use of energy. If you are avoiding the use of energy, you are saving the environment. So whatever products we use, we need to use it for a long time. Waste management practices, this is another important area, but I am going fast. Around 60% of the world population generates 33% of global waste. And in the US alone, landfills produce greenhouse gas equal to 20 million cars. So 5.3 billion mobile phones will become waste this year. Not this year, last year. Was taken last year. This year will be more. So whatever, see here, wild animals like deer and elephants eating from garbage piles. Recently I saw this. This is very shocking news. Waste management practices are very much important. In the Singapore, was famous once upon a time for waste management, waste production. But these days, they have 4 waste to energy plants. They convert all the waste into energy. So they are doing very good activities. So we can focus on energy, waste management. This is another area where future engineers, future scientists, future professionals will be working on. This is the industrial symbiosis system. It is located in close to our university campus in Western Australia. I happened to visit this place. So that's why I thought of sharing. There are 28 industries and 106 interaction between these industries. The waste of one industry is the raw material for the next industry. Waste of coal power plant, ash, is going to the raw material in the nearby industry as a construction material. Waste water is purified in the next plant. Energy is used in the next plant. Nothing is imported from different countries. So avoiding transportation. Everything happened within this industrial synergies are happening within this park. So the licensing is given only those industries which follow this industrial thing. And energy is all fully used by renewable energy resources. So this is a big model. This is what the future people will be working on. The world leaders will come and see this model and they duplicate this model in their countries. So it's a very important one. So we are now in a never kind of situation. Next 10-15 years is very important period. We need to consider, scientists say we need to consider the emergency period. When we are in emergency, we do everything possible. But if you allow this to progress like this, and if you think of fixing it after 25 years, it would take around 200 years to fix that. But within 10-15 years, we can fix everything. But if you allow this to progress like this, the irreversible damage will happen. That much loss of biodiversity would have happened by the time. So we need to create awareness. Education is very important. That's why I have taken this topic. Creating awareness is very much important because positive change begins with awareness. Awareness empowers people to act. So creating awareness is the first step. First step in the right direction is the most important step. So wherever you go, today social media is there. Close it with save energy, save water, save soil. Close it with a note. Somebody is calling, somebody is messaging WhatsApp. Write one line about saving soil, saving water, nothing wrong. That is very much important. Okay, wish you all the best. If you have any questions, you can ask. I think I am taking more time, but if you have any questions, you can talk to me later. So, whatever happened, we cannot fix anything. If you think of future generation, if you love future generations, if you love our children and their children, we need to act very quickly. Otherwise, nature will do it in a very cruel way. So let us not create unnecessary torture to our mother nature, and we can save energy, save water, save pollution control, waste management practices. All these are very much important. Wish you all the best. If you have any question, we can take it.
Thank you, Dr. Khan. Next up, we have Dr. Saleem with his keynote speech.
Assalamu alaikum. I think good morning, of course, good afternoon to all. First, I would like to thank you the opportunity in this FEDA and as a keynote speaker. So, Sar has mentioned Dr. Ponsar has mentioned about this global warming. Because of the global warming, only 5 important elements affected, you know very well. That is for air, water, and fire, and land, and like soil, and etc. So everything is Sar has mentioned this. That is the information about this statistical reports Sar has mentioned, and similarly further what happened, how we can avoid everything again. But as a researcher and as a professor and as an academician and similarly for industrialist, we have to give further solution. So that is important one. We have to move for the in this our world. So for this part, I am going to present in this forecasting tsunami using the triple SIM models. So tsunami, already we know that tsunami affected all over the world in different places. Recently, particularly because of the global warming, a lot of the tsunami affected in the Japan and Indonesia and other, that is Atlantic, and there's a lot of the places also we have affected. So in this course, what are the as a human being we have to save for our life for this our human and other things, because the global warming created by our that is our human being only. Similarly, for the solution we have to give. That is our duty. So that's the reason only now all the research that is moving towards forward for the solution. So this type of tsunami, we know already, we know that the type of tsunami we have. The tsunami can be categorized in different parts. That is first one, earthquake tsunami, then volcanic tsunami, landslide generated tsunami, and mega tsunami. So 4 types of tsunami we have. So in this each and every tsunami we have 3 phases available. First one generation, next one propagation, and third one runoff. So before the earthquake, because of this fault line and because of the under the earth we have some other chemical reaction and technological plate effect. The generation is happened. Then because of the generation, the water is very nearly more than 100 kilometers of height is come to the in this our land. That's why the propagation, and runoff is automatically because of this land, and based on this land structure, the runoff is height is more. That's the reason only we have affected in this all over the world. So this is the part we have the phase of tsunami. So tsunami protection by the agency in this all over the world, different type of the agency also moving in this to give for the awareness, similarly for the tsunami warning also we have. Tsunami warning center, particularly for India's geology survey also we have, and other part of national earthquake hazard reduction program also is conducted for each and every places to give the prediction for the tsunami. And what is the detection of tsunami? We have the following for this type of this approach. The first one, that is for we have this that is one this is a top system. The top system is connected with the satellite. The satellite connected with this other office. That is the control system of our tsunami warning center. So changes in this the waves of the tsunami or the waves in the sea. Automatically the information is given to this top system. Top system gives for this our satellite. Satellite gives the information to this particular control room or control of this top system. So the other than that is the dark office will give the information and warning to the other. So these are happening all over the world. Similarly, for this type of this point also mentioned is different places. The dark system is available in our, particularly for our Australia, and similarly for a lot of places. More than 89 dark station available all over the world. So what is the limitation of the tsunami early warning system? Because already we have the tsunami warning system, and what is the problem in the tsunami warning system actually? So what is the limitation what we have in this tsunami warning system actually? The tsunami warning system is created by this each and every government under the one that is for the agency. But this early warning system is very important because we have to save the life. Similarly, for give the some important information about the particular zone area peoples. But what happened in this particularly in the tsunami warning system is there is a false warning system is mentioned. So at that time the people is affected many more. And some information also we received. That is the tsunami will come, tsunami we expected. Like that information we are receiving from the tsunami warning system. But it's not true. Sometimes it is 5 years. So this part we have to move further. Next one there is a solution. So what is for example, it is our warning we have, in particularly for this in the particular area in Indonesia Indonesia and other time also, lot of the false alarming or lot of the false warning system is mentioned there. So that's why the alternative solution, and we are moving for the next level, that is for the mathematical solution. So that's why the need for tsunami modeling. In the tsunami modeling, we have the primary purpose of the tsunami modeling. We have the purpose of the modeling is the risk assessment, and next one the early warning system, and the hazard mapping and the land using planning, then engineering infrastructure design and education and awareness. So, the objective of this research, objective of this tsunami warning is forecasting of the tsunami we have to find the earliest arrival time of tsunami. Next one, using a minimum number of input parameters, because at the time of the sudden happen in this particular time, we are not possible to get for the all the parameters. If all the parameter only the early warning system is give the input, that's the reason only we have delayed information we received. So that's why we use a minimum number of input parameters, and we are possible to give for the solution, that is important one for the minimum input parameter. Next one, to reduce the computation time, that is after completing this our using for our simulation modeling and using for our computer, our software, it will give for the solution within the 5 minutes. Thank you. So that's the reason only this we have to apply for the both the distance and the local tsunami. We have the two important part we have. Apply for the both the distance and local tsunami, and apply for the long duration tsunami also. So the impulse sim model is is an overview of we have created for the new model by this our team actually for the 3 part we have. What I mentioned is the generation phase and the propagation phase and the run-up phase. So the other part we have this created for the our simulation modeling using for our Python programming, and similarly for the algorithm also we have that is important. It is the impulse source based model, impulse and fault line based model, impulse estimate short distance based model, and impulse AB model, and impulse ADIR model, and run-up phase model. So this is a gap what we have identified, because before that I mentioned previously, the lot of the agency also they are doing for the different type of this simulation modeling, similarly for the early warning system also. So in this part we have the most, and tsunami 2 is a model already we have, and one wave and control wave and concat also we have. So what is the gap we have identified, not accurately captured because of this most. Similarly for this limits its that is applicability and not very efficient and requires specific input parameter and ideally for the condition and may not capture. These are the things, the disadvantage also available in the previous what we have in this identification of existing model. So the advantage is the new approach also we have, that is as I mentioned previously, the minimum parameter we are possible to identify the tsunami that is arrival time. And next one, important is that is for this our similar to long duration or long scale tsunami, computation time is less than 5 minutes equal to you for the solution for this one. So that's the reason only we have advantage the new approach in this our next one, the methodology. We have the 5 important 6 important stages we have. First one, data collection. Next one, the parameter identification and the mathematical equation modeling, and the program for equation and implementation and testing. So these are the steps we have crossed. So this is the step 1, data collection. We have data collected from this all over the world. What is important is of the government agency and other agencies also we have collected using the bathymetric data, earthquake data, and other data also. Similarly, for the parameter we have identified that is a technical point, because that's why I want to skip some other point, because magnitude and origin location and focal depth and dip angle, other things also we have. This is a technical part. So all the part we have considered for the semi-important based on this 5 input parameter only. But usually to develop for any modeling, minimum 15 parameters, more than 15 parameters required. Now we have identified, we have created for the algorithm, and so that is using for the Python and other algorithm, other program coding also. We have identified only 5 parameters enough to give for the solution of the tsunami arrival time as earliest arrival time also. So this is a mathematical formulation. This is that is using for the representation of 3-dimensional combinations we have. And next one, that is for the initial condition we have considered for the initial condition, that is the seabed is rigid and velocity seabed, the depth of the seabed, and the next one the fluid is equilibrium conditions. Like that we have considered for the some initial condition. And the phase 1, that is the generation, and we should see that this is the framework for the there is generation. We have the seismic movement and all the part we have considered. There is a great boundary conditions and with rupture zone determinations, supersymmetric wave propagation, etc. So output we have from the phase 1, there is rupture zone coordination, rupture length, and time of rupture, and etc. These are the things we have received for the first one, that is for the phase 1 generation. Similarly, for the propagation phase also we have this identified, and we have that is completed for the propagation part also. And third one, there is a run-up phase. Again, the run-up phase we have a framework. These are the framework, using the framework, and we have identified the Third stage that is for the run-up phase also. So the generation and propagation and run-up, so all the part we have computed for this our that is the algorithm and for the solution also. So next one, that is for the propagation for the modeling. We have already mentioned that using for the Python and other algorithm, more than 6 algorithms we have integrated, and apart from that we have identified the new 4 algorithms and nearly 10 algorithms we are using to use the predictions of this tsunami applications. So this is the implementation and the final part. This we have identified and we have that is the mathematical formula and mathematical application also completed. But the problem is how we have to implement. The implement part is very important. That is we have to give for the solution using the some simulation model. That's the reason we have implemented for the 5 different parts. First one, the location based we have identified, and similarly for the ocean based also we have identified. For example, North Atlantic, North Pacific, Indian Pacific, Indian Pacific, and next one for the continent based also. For example, Europe, North America, Asia, and South America and Asia also. Last one, the country based also we have identified. So different type of this implementation we have, and that is applied. And one more important I would like to mention here, we have integrated with this National Institute of Ocean Technology in India. There is a Institute of Science, and we have cooperated with this MOE, and this, we have completed for this part. So these are case studies for example, I will show for only 2 case studies. First one for the Indian Ocean Tsunami 2004, what happened, and how you have identified this parameter, what is solution you got. Okay, this is the 9.3, already we have the 9.3 magnitude earthquake struck in this December 26, 2004. Nearly now 2024, we are 2004 now. So at that time, we have 9.3 magnitude earthquake struck in Indonesia, and a lot of the people, lot of the people is dead because of this the sudden tsunami. So we have tsunami simulation result. We got it using my algorithm, using this simulation model. The first one, that is for the generation of steady area and seabed displacement, and next one for the rapture line. We have the rapture line. Rapture line towards nearly 1,000 kilometers, 1,200 kilometers from the particular part to this Burma plate also crossing. So this is important part we have to do. Next one is the seawater deformation and generation tubes. Then propagation phase also similarly for the, now I am going to identify my Chennai to our, that is for the Sumatra. The Sumatra to Chennai, what is the distance? There is short distance also we have identified. And how to reach for the particular time, the earliest arrival time, what is the short distance? That is based on this algorithm, we are possible to give for a solution of the short distance also we have identified. And similarly for next one, it is the impulse ABB approach. Based on this impulse ABB approach, we have identified the totally 8 directions based on north, northwest, and northeast. Similarly for south, southwest, like that. So now we are in this, from this, that is west to northwest, so we have identified for the northwest approach. In the northwest approach, we have this each and every, that is hours, we have the solution, that is for the first one, second simulation, and third simulation stage, and the fourth and the final. So what are the, how the distance is moving and how this each and every stages, that is waves are moving, everything we have mentioned here. And similarly for the impulse ADR approach, in the ADS approach also we have this for the 360 degree. In the previous one I have mentioned only for the some direction, that is maximum for 45 degree. But here 360 degree, what happened in this after this earthquake and how we reach for the earliest arrival, everything is mentioned. It is the impulse ADR approach. And next one, impulse ADR approach for the Japan tsunami 2011 also we have identified, and we got this output like this only. And this is the some validations of the value, the tsunami details. There is a time travels, the location and the model of data, historical data, time difference, what will the accuracy we need, that is based on this algorithm, nearly 10 algorithm and modeling, we got this 99% for the first location, and second location 92, 97, 90 and 95. Within the 5 minutes, we are possible to give for the solution for the earliest arrival time for our people. This as compared to this, our that is our yearly warning system is very useful for our people. That's the reason we have created. And similarly for the estimated tsunami wave carriers also we have based on this run up, and similarly for the travel time, everything we have calculated. And finally another one phases, that is for the 2 phases comparison here. So this is here 2004 Sumatra tsunami and 2011 Japan tsunami. In this here the magnitude is 9.15, 9.1. But the fault length is different. So based on this fault length and based on the water depth, the total, that is the simulation models totally is it will reflect for the differently. That's the reason only we have to consider for that our important point only. And propagation phase also we have this representation of propagation phase, how is occurring in 2004 and how is the 2011 and etc. And next one run up also, similarly for the run up it is presentation also we have, that is for the graph representation also we have the slot aviation that Chennai and Kanyakumari in the crossing of Tamil Nadu and India. So what is the conclusion is the particular one. There is a minimum input parameter for forecasting of the tsunami behavior, and the tsunami can simulate using the primary available what is the value we have. Based on this one, we are possible to predict the particular case. And these are, apart from that, we have created for the designs of the prototype model also we have created to understand our student community, how this happened and how we have to movement of each and every stage like our generation, propagation and etc. So these are the water displacement mechanism also we have the pattern also we have tried for the pattern. So future scope, apart from that we have using for the another one model also we are going to implement, that is for the 3-dimensional tsunami wave and solar automata. And thank you for your listening and thank you for watching. So any clarification you need, I will explain. Thank you.
Finally, I would like to invite Dr. Samiullah Khan with his keynote speech.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's always very exciting to speak after Dr. Ponselvan. He gave us a very elaborate presentation on the impact of climate change, and he spoke about soil, water, air, waste, and how it is impacting our life, and how we need to take immediate corrective action. What I'm going to do is follow through from there and show you what as an industry and what as corporates and what as engineers we have done in order to solve all the problems which he spoke about. So you don't need to be scared with what was explained to you. As engineers, we have solutions for all those problems today. So the only thing which we need to do is implement the solutions. So call for action is the most important thing. And during this presentation, I would love to answer all the technical solutions for waste, for water, for soil, for air, for food security. But for the want of time, what I'm going to choose is I'm going to choose probably, as per me, one of the most important aspects. Because like what was explained, without food, you can live for a few days. Similarly, without water, you can still survive for a couple of days. But a very important aspect is the air which we breathe. Now, how many minutes can you survive without air? So, I thought that the air quality which we breathe is the most important aspect, and let us address the air quality. A brief profile about myself. I've studied in India, in the US, in the UK, in Europe, from the top universities, and I've also worked with some of the biggest organizations in the world. And a quick confession is that I started my career, and for 17 years I was polluting the environment. I was selling trucks and buses, and I was doing a very good job, and I have a very high carbon footprint in this region. But today, I am capturing carbon dioxide from the built environment, improving indoor air quality, eliminating sick building syndrome, and saving about 30 to 40% of the energy bill. So, my message to you is that you could be polluting today, but you can mend your act and start saving the earth. I just like to pass a remark. When I was working here, I was told the next world war is going to be because of water. And Dr. Ponchalvan very eloquently explained how the microplastic is affecting us. And WWF says that every day we are eating 1 credit card worth of microplastics. And every year, it is almost 1 laptop which we are eating in terms of microplastics. So I stopped drinking water from plastic bottles. I carry my bottle wherever I go. And very interestingly, this water which I have inside has been created from humidity using solar power. So today in Dubai, we have produced more than 5,000 liters of high quality drinking water in the deserts of Dubai using solar power. So a challenge which was highlighted, high humidity, the engineers have converted it into a resource and reducing our dependence